guys, we're inside Junction here with the executive chef, Melissa Close-Hart. This is one of my favorite restaurants in Charlottesville. In fact, we had our rehearsal dinner here. This is a great spot for events. And Melissa, you won the Duel Chef Showdown in convincing fashion. I can say that. You beat a true pro in Michael Berry of Tastings.
And a good friend of mine.
Yeah, and a good friend.
Yeah.
I see you guys interacting on social.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put it in perspective, the win against a quality chef. What was that like?
Oh, it's nice. I've been going up against my husband so often, and he beats me all the time. So it was nice to have a win. I did have a lot of help from Matthew. The menu was totally mine, but it's nice to have a good partner in crime, so to speak. And Matthew and I work well together, so it was a lot of fun. It was great to see Michael. As you know, in this industry, a lot of us know each other, but a lot of us don't see each other.
Sure,
so
you're working.
Yeah, so it was nice to spend several hours hanging out with an old friend and having fun and messing around with each other in the kitchen. So
your menu at the Duel was bomb. I mean, I think it was without question one of the best, if not the best, of any of the duels. The margin of victory was the largest of any duel we've ever had. So I'm not the only one thinking that, other people are. You mentioned Chef Hart, your husband, who's the executive chef at the local.
Yeah.
Wait, what is that like, working with him in the kitchen? Everyone wants to know that.
Well, everybody's real happy when Junction opened. I left Palladio about 2 years before we opened Junction,
right,
and helped Matthew run the catering and doing work at the local. And all the employees here can attest that they were real happy that we separated buildings. We're both very alpha personalities, both totally different kinds of chefs, both in our own great way. But it was nice for us to get our own places. So it was fun to work together one-on-one again. Amazingly enough, we don't see each other a lot, even though we're right across the street. But it's a lot of fun to work with him on a small scale.
As someone, Melissa, who works with his wife, I totally understand what it's like working with your significant other. Just about picking battles, huh?
Yeah, it is. It is all about picking battles. And some things you have to leave at work, some things you have to take home with you. And there are definitely times we both talk to each other. I'm coming to you as my wife, not as an employee.
This is what we do.
So you have to preempt some of those conversations with how things will be reacted against. But all in all, we work really well together.
You won every course and Monday's Duel Chef Showdown, every single one. Was there one dish in particular that you were most proud of?
One dish, I think I like the shrimp dish. I like the composition of that. That was Matthew's kind of influence on the composition of it. The flavors were mine, and he just kind of put the flair. He likes to call it the flair. But I think my favorite dish, and I think kind of a favorite across the board, was the Peruvian chicken.
Oh, so good.
Which I have to admit, one of my past employees brought to me because he grew up in, his mother's Peruvian. But, it's something I adapted his recipe, and I made it all my own. And of course, for this duel, we added coffee to the brine and added coffee to the rub. But I had more guests that night tell us that we need to put that on the menu. And we'd already been discussing it since we had run it for the first time here at Junction, about putting it as our new chicken dish on the menu when we changed in the spring. So
that was the conversation we had at our table. This needs to be on the Junction menu. One of Nick, a common friend of ours, thought it as well. I mean, it was so good.
Yeah, we were eating a lot of it in the kitchen too. So the staff was very happy I had leftovers, so we left all the chicken with the staff there.
I've been really impressed with the sense of family here at Junction. It seems like you guys are all super tight. You guys hang out. You had a lot of support at the event from your comrades. Yeah. I mean, you've built that culture pretty quickly.
It's pretty easy here with Adam. Adam is a very family man, and all his restaurants are very family oriented. We have really low turnover. The kitchen, not so much lately, but
well, it's because you do so many covers.
Yeah,
it's a high energy kitchen.
Yeah. And it takes a special kind to be in both kitchens. It took Matthew a long time to get his kitchen very stable, but all in all, we've had employees that have been in this company for 5 to 10 years, and that just always helps. That even with a new restaurant here and a lot of new employees, they got that feel of a new restaurant, and but still yet being a family restaurant, and we got to continue that vibe here. And and Will did a great job. All the characters that we've hired in the front of the house, we all get along. We're all loose nuts, so we're all good family.
She mentions Adam Frazier. He's the restaurateur and the owner behind Junction, the local, and the smokehouse here in Belmont. All right, as we wind down the interview, you're in the Final Four You got some fierce competition with David Morgan, who I think is doing some awesome things at Tavern and Grocery.
Yep, I'm going to have to go spy on his food a little bit.
It's solid. I mean, what do you think about being in the Final Four and facing a chef like David?
I don't know much about him. He's one of the few people that...
He's an up-and-comer.
Yeah, in this whole bracket system that I didn't know anything about. But I've heard great things. And, Matthew and I with us both work in the restaurant business. Amazingly enough, we don't go out to eat that often. Red Lantern and Chipotle know us really well.
Love them both.
But other than that, so we're going to have to make an effort to go out and check it out. And then, of course, Curtis Schaefer and Chris Humphrey, who are on the other side of the Final Four, are been dear friends of mine forever. I've known Curtis since he moved to Charlottesville, and I've known Chris was one of the first people I met when I moved here in 2000. So if I end up head-to-head with either one of those, it's going to be a lot of fun. But I'm looking forward to another duel, and I hope I make it to the final too.
Is Maddie going to run shotgun and sue for you
I
throughout?
believe so. I believe
that's
so.
awesome. So it's truly our pleasure to eat this lady's food and her team's food. Melissa Close-Hart in the Final Four of the Duel Chef Showdown.